Welcome to the way back machine, guys. This is a video that we originally did way back in 2011. And honestly, there's still some value to that one. If you go check it out, he'll show you how to actually assemble the different components of the PC, whereas today we're focused on the actual makeups of the PC, and then we're going to talk about performance a little bit later. But oh my goodness, check that guy out. So much style, the reverse hat and everything. Wow. Wow. So just in case you guys haven't seen that video or don't feel like going back and watching it, let's go through what the objective of a good enough gaming PC is. We are attempting to run modern titles at 1080p for somewhere between $500 to $600. Just like last time, we are leaving out an operating system just in case you have one already. Or, remember, SteamOS is also coming as an option, so you may not even need Windows for a good enough gaming PC, especially if you play a lot of indie games. And the other thing we're leaving out is because cases are such a personal option, we didn't bother selecting one for you, but there's lots of options around for around 30 bucks. One that I personally really like, although it's a little bit more expensive, it's $40, is the Fractal Design Core 1000. All right, so we got a whole bunch of stuff here. Let's run through what it is. For starters, there's the components that go in both configurations that we're presenting today. So we've got a Corsair CX series, that's a Builder Series 430 watt 80 plus bronze power supply. It's non-modular, it's 80 plus bronze as opposed to gold, and it's like actually physically kind of small, but aside from all of those things, it's still made by Corsair, and it's still going to be enough for the configs that we have here today. We also have Corsair Vengeance memory. We have a 4 gig kit of DDR3 1600, and then last but not least, we have a 1 terabyte Seagate Barracuda mechanical hard drive. But we know that everyone feels a little bit differently about the whole AMD versus Intel thing. So we have a couple different options for you in terms of combinations for CPUs and motherboards that you might prefer depending on which of those you prefer. So first up is a Core i3-4130 dual core processor with hyper-threading. It's a 3.4 gigahertz processor with 3 megs of cache, and it runs on the LGA 1150 socket. Then we have a matching board for it. This is the Asus B85MG NATX. Well, it's a B85 motherboard, so that's fairly self-explanatory. It has PCI Express expansion in the form of one 16x slot and two 1x slots, and it has support for 4 DIMMs of DDR3 memory. Other than that, there's not much to say about it. It should be noted that B-series SKUs are generally more business-oriented, so you won't find any kind of advanced onboard audio or any overclocking options or anything like that. On the AMD side of things, we have the A8 5600K quad-core APU. The K stands for unlocked and overclockable. This is a 3.6 gigahertz processor. It is a quad-core, and we were able to squeeze in a bit more of a sort of sexy-looking board, if nothing else. This is the F2A55M CSM. It is a corporate stable model, though, guys, so it should be noted that it is still kind of a business-oriented board, but it does at least have 2 PCI Express 16x slots, and it is Crossfire X ready, in addition to its PCIe 1x slot and PCI slot, and also supports 4 DIMMs of DDR memory, and finally, it has 7.1 audio natively supported. Now, while both of these solutions do have onboard graphics, it should be noted that if I was picking one of these two setups to run the onboard graphics, I would definitely go with the AMD one, particularly if I wanted to play any kinds of, mainstream games. You probably won't be playing at 1080p without a dedicated graphics card, but if I wanted to do any gaming on it whatsoever, an APU does have better onboard graphics than Intel's low-end processors. However, within our budget of around $500 to $600, we did find that we were able to squeeze a graphics card in, and once again, we have picked 2 separate graphics card options for you depending whether you prefer AMD or NVIDIA. So on the AMD side, we have the R7 260X OC. This is a 2 gig graphics card. It supports iFinity as well as their Mantle API and all those cool features. And then on the NVIDIA side, we have an EVGA GeForce GTX 650 Ti Boost. This supports G-Sync as well as 3D Vision and all their sexy stuff, and they are priced very, very similarly. So with graphics, your system would be around $546.55 for the AMD option and $552.57 for the Intel option. So we're going to be doing a follow-up video where we take each, the Intel and the AMD platform, and pit them against each other with each the NVIDIA graphics card and the AMD graphics card in each of them, so you'll have a good idea of which route you want to go exactly. Now, you don't necessarily have to build it yourself like we did in the last video. You can get it assembled, so if you get it assembled by NCIX, they'll do all the troubleshooting for you, make sure there's no hidden compatibility issues or stability issues or anything like that. They also do in-house warranty and tech support, so should anything actually happen within the first year, and don't forget there are extended warranties, they will take care of that for you. NCIX offers competitive pricing on the components within the system, so you're really not paying a lot more than if you just bought the components on their own and put them together. It's only a few bucks for assembly, really. And they have an unbiased and non-commissioned PC advisor team. So all you gotta do is email pc@ncix.com and they will help you get the best bang for your buck. Also, they often come with exclusive games, t-shirt bundles, and all kinds of other cool swag like that that you don't get by necessarily just buying the components, as well as exclusive deals on things like peripherals and LCDs so that you can get your entire system for a better value. All right, so what if you didn't want necessarily just a good enough gaming system? We do have a couple of recommendations for you. Number one is 8 gigs of RAM. As much of a fiasco as it's been, the new Call of Duty Ghosts, if you do want to play a legit copy of it, does require at least 6 gigs of memory, although the game has been shown to not actually use that much RAM. So an 8 gig memory kit might not be a bad option, and this is one that I personally really recommend. So Seagate's SSHD drives combine the speed of an SSD with the size of a hard drive, and they only cost a little bit more than your typical hard drive, quite a bit more, around $30 to $40 more, but it's cheaper than buying a standalone SSD. It's a little bit easier to manage because you don't have to be like, okay, well, I'm going to install this there, and then move that around there, and all that kind of stuff. No, you can just install it all in one place. It's transparent to the user, and it is dramatically faster than a standalone hard drive, particularly for your most frequently used applications and games. So guys, that's it for now. These are the contenders. Stay tuned for the performance video comparing these different options. Don't forget to subscribe to NCIX Tech Tips for more videos like this from ncix.com. Almost forgot that. Thanks for putting it into the script, you guys. Oh wait, it's not there.